Okay, this is Orlando Wilson, and in this video I want to answer a question somebody sent me about travel. And this gentleman's been told if you're providing close protection services, you need to fly business class. Okay. I said to the guys, if somebody else is paying, yeah, no worries, fly business class, but it's coming out of your pocket. I would sooner have the money in my pocket than a little extra leg room for an hour or so. This is where there's a lot of misconceptions in the close protection world, that just because you're dealing with people with money, you might be dealing with affluent clients, that you're going to be treated the same as them. I know one story, one incident where there was a client staying in Europe, Paris, in a, of course, 5-star hotel, Arab client, and his protection team was staying in some bed and breakfast, flea pit bed and breakfast, a kilometer or so from his hotel, and every morning they had to get up, go to work, etc., working shifts. They ended up being kicked out of the hotel because the company forgot to pay the bill. So just because the clients live in a Gucci lifestyle doesn't mean you're going to be living that same lifestyle. As for business class, flying business class, you know what, I travel more than most people, I would say. In the past couple of years I've been traveling too much. Have I been traveling business class? No, definitely not. Why? I bill the clients to include my expenses. I put in a bill, and that's for my overall fee, including travel, including hotels, including everything. So if I'm traveling business class, that money's coming out of my pocket, and I would sooner have that money in my pocket. I could understand on longer flights, maybe, I'd say over, what's a long flight to me these days, over 6 hours, I could understand business class then, just to have a little bit of extra leg room and to relax a little bit. Longest flight I've done was, in recent years, Abu Dhabi into, I think, Dallas, Texas. That's UAE to US, and that was a 16-hour flight. That was a nightmare. These days, within Europe to UAE, 6 hours, UAE into most places, into Africa, 6-7 hours. So again, for me, that's tolerable. And generally the flights, well, I think the worst flights these days are the European flights, because a lot of them are very budgety and very packed, etc. If you're, again, people knock Africa, a lot of the African airlines are very, very good. And flying with that in Africa is very, very good when compared to Europe. And I see some of the flights coming out of, I'll use UAE as an example, coming out of Dubai into Europe. You know what, even if you're paying business class, I don't know what extras you're getting. Well, an extra bag of peanuts or something, because a lot of the carriers, a lot of the airlines, I mean, their business class model is minimum these days. You're not getting luxury. So I would sooner have the money in my pocket rather than waste it on business class. I've had people say, one of the best ones I heard, is the reason to travel business class is because you get to meet people. Who? One person sat next to you, one person sat the other side of you, maybe. Because again, a lot of the business class seating these days is done for privacy. So who the hell are you going to meet? And you know what? Most people on planes, when I'm on planes these days, I don't want to talk to people. I want to get on the plane, get to where I'm going, and get off the plane. That's it. As much peace as possible. So I think a lot of people that say you must do business class, you must do, you know what? It's a fantasy world. Again, if you're dealing with clients and you're putting in budgets, it shows that you're economical, that you're not wasting money by traveling business class and living the Gucci lifestyle. You can still travel comfortably without having to go 5-star. And again, if you're a client looking at a budget, you know what, there's a better chance of them coming back to you if you're not kicking the ass out of the budget. It's funny because I was coming out of one place recently, and to get into economy, because I fly economy, you had to walk through the business class seating. And you know what, coming out of this country, I think all the people in business class were young kids, influencers, on their phones, doing their making their videos like I'm doing now. They're making their influencer videos showing people what a bling bling lifestyle they're living because they're flying business class, etc, etc, etc. You know what, maybe that works for them, but if you're from the big picture, from the long haul, most flights these days I take under 6 hours, so I can be a little bit uncomfortable for under 6 hours. I don't even pre-book seats. You know what, I'll just give me what you got, get on the plane, switch off, or try and switch off for how many hours, get off the plane and get back to business. Yeah. So do you need to fly business class? If somebody else is paying, enjoy. If they don't mind you running up the expenses, enjoy. But if it's coming out of your pocket, I'd say it makes more sense to keep the money, keep that extra money in your pocket and spend it on something worthwhile. If you can be uncomfortable for a few hours on a plane, then you know what, close protection business is not for you, because it's all about being uncomfortable, right? So just my opinion. So follow me along on social media. We've got a lot more of these videos up. I like LinkedIn. I'm also up on X. I'm not too keen on the meta platforms. I'm not too keen on YouTube either, but we have stuff up there. We don't use Facebook. We're up on Instagram, stuff up on YouTube, etc. So follow us along on social media. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out. And don't forget, I have an array of books up on Amazon. Talks about various aspects of the close protection business, counterinsurgency, intelligence, kidnap and ransom, and crime fiction. So we got plenty of content up there to keep people amused. So in the meantime, as always, be good, stay safe, stay out of trouble, and always remember, an important part of the close protection business, and it is a business, is budgeting. And I'm all for saving money and putting money in my pocket rather than blowing it on business class.